Hello and welcome to Devendu's podcast. In today's episode, I will be telling you a story about Lord Ajamila. I hope you like this episode, so let's get started. Long ago, there lived a Brahmana named Ajamila. In his youth, Ajamila had been trained in sacred knowledge and righteous conduct. But over time, he fell into bad company. One day, he left his devoted wife and elderly parents and began living with a servant woman and had many children with her. To support this immoral lifestyle, he started cheating, gambling, and even violence. His entire life became consumed by selfish desires and sinful actions. Years passed. Ajmila grew old. At the age of 88, when he lived surrounded by his many children, among them his youngest son had a special place in his heart. The little boy's name was Narayan. Ajamila loved the child deeply and spent most of his time thinking about him, calling his name constantly. Then, one day, death arrived. As Ajamila lay weak, helpless, on his bed, he suddenly saw terrifying beings appear before him. They were dark, fearsome figures carrying ropes in their hands, the servants of Yama, the god of death. They had come to take his soul for punishment. Terrified beyond words, Ajamila cried out loudly, "Narayana!" But he was calling for his little son who was playing nearby. Yet something extraordinary happened. The moment the holy name Narayana was uttered, brilliant divine beings appeared instantly. They were the Vishnu Dutas, the attendants of Lord Vishnu. Radiant and majestic, they stopped the servants of death from taking Ajamila's soul. Confused and angered, the servants demanded, "Who are you? Why are you interfering with our duty?" Then began a profound spiritual discussion about sin, karma, justice, and the power of God's name. The servants of Yama argued that Ajamila had lived a sinful life and therefore deserved punishment. But the Vishnu Dutas replied with compassion and authority. They declared, "By uttering the name of Hari, this man has already atoned his sins committed not only in this life but in countless past lives." They explained that the divine name of the Lord is so powerful that even when spoken unknowingly or accidentally, it destroys sins and purifies the heart. Ajamila had called out Narayana, thinking of his son, but the name itself carried the power of the Supreme Lord. The Vishnu Dutas then freed Ajamila from the noose of death. Moments later, both the messengers of Vishnu and Yama disappeared. Ajamila was shaken to the core. For the first time in decades, he realized the depth of his mistakes. Filled with remorse, he cried, "What a fool I have been! I abandoned my parents, my wife, and the path of righteousness for temporary pleasure." But instead of falling into despair, Ajamila transformed. He left everything behind and journeyed to the sacred town of Gangadwara, also known as Haridwar. There, he devoted the rest of his life to prayer, meditation, and chanting the name of Lord Hari. Slowly, his heart became purified, his devotion deepened, and finally, when the moment of death came once, the same radiant Vishnu Dutas returned. This time, Ajamila was ready. Leaving behind his earthly body, he ascended with them to Vaikuntha. Meanwhile, the servants of Yama returned to their master deeply confused. They asked, "O Lord Yama, is there someone greater than you? How could these beings stop us from carrying out your command?" Yama smiled. He fixed his mind on Lord Vishnu and replied, "There is indeed a Supreme Lord above all. We are all under his control." Then Yama revealed an important truth. He instructed his messengers never to approach devotees who chant the name of the Lord. Even if a person has committed sins, the sincere utterance of God's name destroys those sins and leads the soul towards liberation. Imagine that. Even Yama, the god of death himself, bowed before the greatness of the divine devotion. The story of Ajamila gives hope to every human being. No matter how far a person may fall, no matter how many mistakes they have made, the door to transformation is never closed. The Bhagavatam teaches that the remembrance of the divine, especially through chanting the Lord's name, has the power to purify the heart and awaken spiritual life. I hope you liked this episode. Unfortunately, this is the last episode of the Bhagavatam. For those who really love the stories, I have referred to this book. You guys can take a screenshot and buy this book if you want, if you like the stories. So I hope you like this episode. I'll meet you in the next. Fortunately, more things are planned up, so just get it watching.